What is going on, everybody? Hope that everyone is staying safe. Today, we are going to be reacting to a video that is called Meet AAU's Scariest Duo. Rob Dillingham and Aden Holloway score 500 points in one tourney, and they're only 15. For those who don't know, Rob Dillingham and Aden Holloway are two of the most electric point guards in the class of 2023 and two of the top players in North Carolina in the class of 2023. Neither of them right now are ranked in the ESPN top 23 national rankings, or ESPN only ranks the top 25 players. But in North Carolina, according to Prep Hoops, Aden Holloway is ranked as the number one player, and Rob Dillingham is ranked as the number 3 overall player in the class. The class of 2023 in North Carolina is absolutely loaded. I'll talk about some of the players in the class here in a minute, but particularly loaded at the point guard position. So you have Aden Holloway, you have Robert Dillingham, you also have Caleb Foster, who plays for Team Curry. He picked up a couple of high major ACC offers, including Wake Forest. Jalen Curry is another top-ranked point guard in the class of 2023. He recently picked up a Texas A&M offer, so you've got a slew of guards that are heading into their sophomore year that already have high Division I offers. The focus of today's video is going to be Rob Dillingham and Aden Holloway. Rob holds 6 D1 offers at the time of recording of this video, including USF. I think his best offer right now is Ole Miss. And then Aden Holloway, affectionately known as Biscuit, has a D1 offer from Syracuse. So let's watch this video and see how they scored 500 points in one tourney. Ooh. Shout out to Take Flight Hoops for the video. I love it when Take Flight Hoops and Ball is Life do these intro videos or these intro teasers, but don't actually disclose if the three-point shot was made or if the dunk was made. Forces you to watch the video. That play right there from Robert is probably indicative of what most of his highlights are going to look like. He is so good at splitting the defense and getting to the basket, using the backboard, and doing so while never being rushed. He doesn't overpower you. He doesn't blaze by you. He just finds a way to methodically get in the lane. Biscuit for 3. I don't know if Robert has a nickname the way that Aden especially in North Carolina, is known as Biscuit. In fact, his Instagram is "You Can Call Me Biz." Robert can shoot that ball, man. Robert and Aden both. I wouldn't characterize either of them as absolute knockdown. Ooh, thought he was going to bang out. I wouldn't characterize either of them as absolute knockdown snipers, but I would say both are very good above average three-point shooters. Hey! Okay, Robert with the cockback. I've watched Robert 4 times this summer, 3 or 4 times this summer in 6 or 7 games. And it seems like every single game, his bounce is getting a little bit better and his dunks are getting more pronounced. Man, Robert can shoot that ball. He's got a little bit of a hitch in his shot. Aden's is a little bit more smooth and natural and maybe a little bit textbook, but both are super effective. Ooh, Aden with the Sham God. Sham God to the off-foot layup. I like that. I like that. Steal. Bang out. Ooh. So this blue team that Robert and Aden are playing right now, I believe they're next level basketball prospects. Robert's played against them in 2 other tournaments in Rock Hill in the last month, and every single time he's had their number. This blue team, number 38, Addison Archer, he's a 6'8" high flyer. When I say high flyer, I mean just a smooth dunker. He's also in the class of 2023. Robert just has absolutely had their number, even though the blue team has much more size and length than Robert's team has had. To be clear, Aden hasn't played on these teams. I think this is the first tournament that Robert and Aden are actually playing together. And I don't know if I've seen any other highlights of Aden playing AAU basketball this summer. So this big number 38, Addison Archer, can absolutely fly. Prep Hoops has him, I think, is the number 5 ranked prospect in the class of 2023 in North Carolina. And the other big guy, his name is Braden Crump. He's a class of 2024 prospect, so he's playing up. But 6'8", athletic, skilled, big. Both Addison and Braden will be high major players. Is that a travel? No. No one calls travel anymore. Watch when Robert shoots versus watch when Aden shoots. Robert's shots don't rotate. Like, they don't have a clean backspin. But Aden's, see how clean that backspin was? It's like textbook picture perfect. Cash out? No. Damn, they spanked that other North Carolina team. I'm guessing it's North Carolina white versus North Carolina blue. But that other North Carolina team has athletes and has players. I would say both Biscuit and Robert are capable of making very flashy, offhand, look-away passes. I think where Robert has a pretty noticeable advantage over Biscuit right now is in his athleticism. Robert's maybe 1 or 2 inches taller and just, dunks a little bit more than Aden does. But Aden is a terrific finisher. So Aden reminds me a lot, and not only me, but many people in the high school basketball ranks. Oh, I got to pause it there. Run that back. I think I saw a tweet from Jamie Shaw, who covers high school basketball in the Carolinas, that said something to the effect of the game between North Carolina and Georgia was tied 15-15. And a parent from the Georgia team said something to the effect of Robert was overrated or he needed to do more. And I think Robert and Biscuit and the North Carolina team went on to score something like 32 straight points or something that's absolutely preposterous. I'll find what that tweet is and I'll actually put it on the screen. Don't poke the bear. Don't wake the sleeping giant. Splash. So Aden Holloway reminds me and a lot of other high school basketball enthusiasts. Oh, bang out, Robert. See, every time I watch Robert, that cock back, that right-handed dunk goes back a little bit farther. Both Aden and Robert have really nice floaters. So I was saying Aden reminds me and a lot of other folks of Sharife Cooper, who was the top 20 player in the class of 2020, is going to Auburn, has a huge social media following, is a big fan favorite, has something like almost 600,000 Instagram followers, but their games are so similar. When I say their demeanors, their tendencies, their jump shot form, their decision-making in traffic, their passing capabilities, even their heights, they're both a little bit more diminutive in nature in their stature, but they are so similar. I don't think I've seen 2 players who are... Oh, turn that wrist, Robert. I don't think I've seen 2 players who are 3 years apart who remind me of the other players so much the way that Sharife Cooper and Aden Holloway do. So if you haven't seen Sharife Cooper play, watch the Sharife Cooper highlight video and then watch an Aden Holloway highlight video. Notice how in that jump shot, Robert's shot didn't backspin, but it's still so effective. Robert will do this a lot, where Robert will catch the ball with some separation, wait for the defender to come to him, and then just rise up and elevate and shoot over him. Man, if these two are going to be on the same AAU team in the same backcourt, I don't know what AAU basketball is going to look like next summer. EYBL, Adidas Gauntlet, the Under Armour circuit. But man, they are going to be fun to watch, and that is going to be a hot ticket because they are going to take over social media, and the world is going to get to really know about them. So I was saying both of the players are both Aden and Robert are not ranked in the ESPN class of 2023 top 25 rankings. I'll put those rankings on the screen here in a minute. But I fully expect that at least one, if not both of them, will end up there. The class of 2023 is really strong. You've heard names like Mikey Williams. Bronny James Jr. is the 24th ranked prospect. Bronny is at the point guard position, so technically he's ranked above both Robert and Aden. But I've seen Bronny in person. I've seen Robert in person. I've seen Aden in person. And when I say their basketball IQ and fluidity and knowledge of the game and decision making and all that stuff is up there, if not better than Bronny's. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to make a bold statement right now. Robert Dillingham and Aden Holloway are more fluid basketball players than Bronny James is. Bronny is much more athletic and has much better size than both of them do. But when it comes to control, feel for the game, you're not going to find better point guards than Aden Holloway and Robert Dillingham. See what I'm saying right there? That's a good example. Robert had some space. He didn't elevate. He waited for the defender to close out a little bit more or get in a defensive stance, and then rose up and elevated over him. Neither of them need a lot of space to shoot. I love how stoic their demeanors are. After every made basket, three-point shot, layup, they're never flashy, they're never grunting, they're never yelling. They just hand the ball back to the referee or to the opposing team. And I don't know if that's just because of their demeanor or they play so many AAU games over the course of, a year that, at this point scoring is, nothing to write home about. But watch, on every single one of these, they score and their facial expressions don't change at all. Splash. That coach in the background needs to have his mouth covered. Ooh, turn him around, Robert. Turn him around. I'm telling you, both Robert and Aden are going to be YouTube sensations. The way that Sharife Cooper was. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the way that LaMelo Ball was a YouTube sensation at Chino Hills, Robert and Aden are going to be in that same category by the time their junior year and senior year rolls around. I'm telling you. They just get to the lane, man. They just get to the middle. Both Robert and Aden are deadly with the, dribble, half court, pull up, in traffic. Facial expressions don't ever change. I fully expect, just because they're so active with their hands, I don't know if either of them are elite defenders yet. I need to watch a little bit more of them. I need to watch more of them in a school setting, not an AAU setting. But both of them are going to average a ton of steals as well because their hands are so active and they just know the game so well. So they're going to be really calculated in when do they take risks, when do they reach, when do they go for steals versus when do they stay home. Both of them finish through contact really well, and it's not just finishing with contact at the rim. It's, look, right there, they're getting bumped 1 or 2 steps away from the basket, but they still maintain their body control and are able to finish. Damn, so if they scored the title said they scored 500 points in one tourney, 500 points, that's a lot of points. 500 points, 250 points each in 6 games, so 40 points a game? 40 points a game? That seems like a lot. Man, that was fun to watch. Even more fun than watching highlights of them is going to be the debate of Robert Dillingham versus Aden Holloway versus Tremaine Parker versus Jalen Curry, who is a high school teammate of Robert Dillingham at Combine Academy in Lincolnton, versus Caleb Foster, who is a super point guard. He goes to Hickory Ridge, plays for Team Curry's 16U team. The debate about who is the best point guard in North Carolina is really gonna be fun to watch and track over the years to come. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to be notified when the next video is going to come out, and another video should be dropping here in the next couple of days. thank you for watching. Stay safe.